hour.
We all go a little mad.
Forget you.
The dead follow a legendary
You are going to die tonight.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour. It's the place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the co-hosts here, Yutaka. Hello. And today I'm joined with Liam.
Hello.
Words. All
Yeah.
right. And today
I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do something stupid, but I decided against it.
You did.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say.
yeah.
And today I'm really excited because we have an extra special guest, season 4 Dragula winner, Dahli. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Liam. I'm gonna raise you a this and then give you a this.
Yes. How have you been?
I've been wonderful. It's good to see you again. It's been like a year, I think, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It has.
Yeah.
I think like the new season's going to be starting up soon too. So
Oh yeah, premiere on Halloween, of course.
that's smart. It's very
Mhm.
smart. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Because
Yes.
everyone's gonna be hungover watching it on November 1st.
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed for Liam and I that they do screeners this year. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed. They didn't for the last one. So we'll
For
see.
Titans,
Yeah, no, they
No.
kept that so close to the chest. They're like, you're not getting anything.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, I think it's because of so much of maybe it was like too much stuff was like leaked the season before or something. But
Yeah.
they're like, keep that
Probably.
shit on lockdown.
Yeah. But and I think because you went over you did the UK tour. How was that?
Well, it wasn't a UK
Yes.
tour.
Or UK
Yeah.
you did some dates.
I
in
did
the
2
UK.
shows. Yeah,
You
I flew to the UK for 3 days. Yeah, I know, 12-hour flight. Flew there. We had a day off, which was the day that we arrived. And then we had London, and then the following night was Manchester, and then I was back on a plane home the next morning. Like I didn't even get like a chance to get jet lag. Like by the time I'd gotten home, I was like, I feel like I'm still on my time, so it's fine.
I love that.
Yeah, like there was so many changes with that. So
Yeah, it wasn't even like
Lord knows what was happening.
it was supposed to be like the Titans tour, and then I got
Yeah.
contacted about it, and I was like, I mean, I'm not a Titan, but I'll take it. And then one of the original like cast members like bailed, and it was a whole thing. So yeah, I don't know. I was happy with how it turned out. It was really cool to meet Joe Black and Licorice Black, and Crystal. I think they're I think both of those people, except for Licorice, they're from Drag Race, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're UK
Yeah.
based, right?
Crystal was season 1, Joe Black was season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I think Licorice Black is part of Cheddar Gorgeous's
Yeah.
drag family, and Cheddar was obviously season 4.
Yeah, love Cheddar. I met them briefly because I walked into the wrong dressing room, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I love it that you still fan out too, just like we would.
Of course, yeah. I was like, I still fan out over someone I hang out with like every other day. So,
I love it. Well, today's topic, I'm excited. I actually had to do a little bit of research because we're talking fantasy horror films, and so much I was having trouble like what's considered
trying to figure out what constitutes as fantasy horror.
But I found a couple, or actually I found several. Some are from my childhood and some are actually recent. So I'm excited to talk about these. But since Liam has a freaking list, I'm gonna let you start, Liam.
Thank you. I was very proud of myself. Usually I'm like struggling to hit 4. And then I was like, oh, I'm like 10 deep. I may as well stop.
Okay. 10 deep. Good for you.
Only
Gays,
only on a
I
Friday.
can't.
Plenty of Crisco. So I will start with. I'm going to start with a childhood film, and I'm going to do Return to Oz
Ah,
because nothing will send the shivers up your balls like them f***ing wheelers.
they look like little
They were
Boris.
terrifying. It's a boar on wheel, run!
Yes, I love that.
Like, they were the stuff of nightmares. Like, when they're just, it's fine. Like, it's okay at first. You're like, oh, what's this? But then when he lifts the head and you just see the acting on the thing, you're like, oh, nope, I'll do it. And then Mombi as well. Badass, but also a terrifying. Like, when she screams, Dorothy Gale, you just get, run! Am I Dorothy? Should I run? Like, who knows? And then, I mean, as a child, I found the Gnome King a bit scary. Not like massively scary, but like I was like, oh right, okay, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
But now I'm just like, oh, look at that. Like, obsessing over his ruby slippers. Like, you get it.
That movie is I never saw it as a kid. I didn't see it until I was like well into my 20s. And I most recently had watched it. I had just played this horrific game on stream. Like, I was like shook from it just because there's so many jump scares. And I asked somebody that was staying with you at the time, I was like, can you like put on, like, I need a refresher after that. I was like, put on a Disney movie. Little did I know Return to Oz is a Disney movie. And I sit down and I'm like, I haven't seen this movie. It's been like maybe a good 5 or 6 years since I had seen it last, and I'd forgotten so much of it. And I was like, one of the introduction scenes is Fairuza Balk as a little girl getting electroshock therapy. And I was like, what? I was like, this gets so dark so quick. And then the further you go down the rabbit hole, it just gets worse and worse. And the imagery in it is not made for a child by any means. The Hall of Heads, an amazing spectacle for somebody like myself as just a weird adult, but as a child I would have shit my ass seeing something that terrifying. I was like, what do you mean she just puts on different heads?
I did.
Right. I don't remember. I think I need a refresher myself. I don't remember that.
So I've got a 7-year-old goddaughter, so I like to make sure that she's watching good films and not crap.
Right.
The one film I have been completely banned from putting on for her is Return to Oz, because her mother, my best friend, is still terrified of Return to Oz as a 30-odd-year-old adult. And she was like, no, you are never putting that film on for my child.
Grow up.
It's fine. I'll sneak it on one day.
It's a real good one. I like that Fairuza Balk has been weird since the beginning.
Exactly.
Maybe she's weird because of that movie.
Got a lane. Oh.
I wish she acted more.
That would do it.
That would
Mhm.
do it. Also, another weird little fact about the Return to Oz is the pumpkin guy. His name's Jack, right? I guess he was the inspiration for Jack the Pumpkin King in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
I was like,
I didn't know that.
I mean, you look at it and it just, even his persona and everything is very like Jack Skellington, which
it's the
yeah, it's me. It's gangly as shit. Yeah, we just say it. Just say awkward. Goddamn.
Sorry. Yes, it's you. Once you pointed out, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't even, I didn't bat an eye at it. I was like, yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I also loved the couch.
The couch.
That moose couch.
Oh,
the
yeah,
moose
yeah,
couch
yeah,
that
yeah.
they
The one
make.
they make like the airplane or aircraft out of.
Icon.
That part is so weird.
I guess I really need to rewatch this film because I don't remember some of this. So okay, maybe I mean
and
it's not
Belinda
on
the
the
chicken,
agenda tonight
also
to watch,
icon.
but I will be watching this, rewatching this. It's
Yes.
been
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Been
apparently.
it's been a couple decades, but I guess it's a good time. Well, I guess I'll go next. I also decided to choose something kind of from my childhood as well. And this is an interesting one because it's animated.
Oh boy.
And I remember this.
Did they have animation back in them days?
They did. It's actually really good animation.
Cave drawings.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a
But it's
flip book.
1982's Secret of the Nymph.
Oh, just Secret of Nim. Is
Nim.
that what you mean?
Is it
Nim.
Nim? Oh,
Well,
I
Secret
don't
of
know.
Nim.
I don't know why I pronounce it like PH. Sorry,
I
Nim.
thought nymph was like short for nymphomania.
Yeah, Secret of Nim. But well, honestly, I didn't even know what the NIMH stood for until I was refreshing myself with that film. But what seeing that as a kid, like some of the anime style or animation style is just freaky, and just the journey that the mom goes through.
It's really trippy.
It is bizarre,
Yeah.
but the part that it just wasn't until a little bit earlier. I didn't realize it stood for National Institute of Mental Health, and I completely forgot about that whole aspect of that.
What?
The characters, they were used in experiments, and so that's why, like, I was like, oh my god, like this all
I
went
haven't
over
seen
my
it
head
since
as
I was a kid.
child.
That's mind blowing.
And so I didn't know that. I'm like,
Yeah, same.
oh my god. I was like, that is dark.
Yeah, it is.
And so I was like,
I'm
well,
gonna have to rewatch that one.
I
then.
know. And I mean, when I was a kid, this terrified me. And so every time when I would watch it, though, I was like, all right, well, I need to watch, something to kind of counteract that. And so I would put on the Great Mouse Detective. So, I'd have
That's
I've got
as
one
bad.
I've got one that's terrifying, and then I've got one that like it uplifts me a little bit. And now like I'm reading about it and I go, well, Jesus, I didn't realize the whole like experimentation thing. And oh my God. Like
Wild.
I can't wait to rewatch this, but I do just remember the
Thank God
animation
that never happened to
style.
Fievel.
The owl was terrifying.
Yes!
And the way they depicted like the cat as well was like terrifying. And it sounds so funny to say like an owl and a cat is scary in like a cartoon, but like just so much of the imagery was like very culty when they go to like that big was it like a rose bush or a thorn bush or something. Yeah, and it was all like very like scenic and all like red lit and everything. I was like, ooh.
I just there's
Feeling like you're in Amsterdam.
It was like death. That's what it was to me, and I loved it. But I was just like, what the is this? But it's to me like that's fantasy horror. But that's one I had to at least. We've never talked about it on this show. But it's from my childhood.
No, but yeah,
like,
it totally falls
so
into
good.
that. Yeah,
and it's just and
It's horror for kids.
I think a lot of people like
be.
yeah. I think some of the new younger folks probably don't know such good treasures, and I think it's one to check out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you know what it always reminds me of though? The Willem on a reaction bit. And she was reacting to that lad getting the makeup put on his face, and she was just going, "Oh, we found out the secret of Nim. It's a red-headed mole."
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch the beatdown religiously, and
that was a beatdown. Yes,
I remember that because he's like,
"What kind of evil elf?"
Yeah.
Anytime someone mentions that film, that's like instantly. I'm just kidding.
Dead ass.
I love that. So, Dahli, what one do you have for us?
Well, since we're going in like the theme of I guess I'll make my first one like a childhood one as well. And I'm not really 100% sure if this falls into horror, but it's certainly left an impression on me that I would consider horrifying as a child. The original Neverending Story.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the story
that
itself
is one of the 10 on my list.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The story itself is like not really unsettling too much. I mean, it's a little like disassociative if you watch it as an adult, but a lot of like the imagery and character design in it is what terrified me as a child. Gamork, which was also known as like the Nothing. Absolutely. I just got goosebumps thinking about it. I actually named one of my tarantulas Gamork because he was just like, you just see his like little legs sticking out of his hide all the
Oh
time,
my
and that's
God.
all you
No,
ever see.
I remember we talked about this.
Yeah, Gamork is he's an icon, but some of the characters, like I mean, even the ones that were assumably friendly were absolutely terrifying. Like the rock people. That scene where they're going through the desert and there's like the Sphinx statues with like the laser like eye. I was like, what is happening in this movie? But yeah, it touches on like a lot of like phobias and stuff. I think one of the opening scenes, he's like on a diving board and he looks down and like the swimming pool had turned into
Yes.
like Niagara Falls or something. Like it was all things that just like triggered new fears in me as a child. I was like, a diving board looked fun until I saw this dude not being able to do it. Now that's all I could think of.
Yeah, no, I was fully like the Nothing used to scare the shit out of me as a child. And then it like just when you lose a trio.
Oh yeah, oof.
Oh.
That's not something for a child to see.
No, it's really not. And it affects you.
Yeah, it like traumatized
I'm still
me
affected.
as a kid. Yeah, and I grew up with horses, so like watching that happen to one, I was like, ah. I wasn't prepared. My little mind.
Even the second one, to be fair, is like just
I was
as
not a fan of the second one.
The second one wasn't as dark.
I like the second one.
I like the second one as well. It's less horrifying and touches more on like the whimsy side of things.
Yes.
Like that opening scene, we're at the like masquerade ball, and then there's like some kind of like invasion, and everyone's running around screaming in these crazy costumes and shit. But I remember there's a scene, I think it is from the second one, where they're like in some kind of room, and it's like a few different characters, and I think they represent like the elements. There's like a lava man, and there's like a woman made of like wind or something, and there's this one guy that's literally made of mud, and every time he talks there's like this puddle in his throat.
Oh, I do remember that.
And it is nightmare fuel. I still think of him just like peanut butter covered man, just
Yes.
talking out of his throat hole. I was like,
oh my God. Oh gosh.
But
I do remember that scene.
the was the baby in the second one. The rock
the
baby.
little rock baby. I think he's in both.
Oh, was so cute. That little rock.
I think he's in the second one, and then the first one it's just the rock guy, and then they have a baby, and he's in the second one. Yeah.
But no, them pincer things in the second one.
Oh
Scared the shit out of me.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they kind of look like the characters from Fifth Element, or like
Yes,
it's somewhere
a little
between
bit.
like Fifth
Yeah.
Element and like that Mario Brothers movie from the 90s, where
I
they have
love
like the
that
little
movie.
the little
Yeah, the
tiny
Goomba.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie gets shitted on so much, and I love
It
it.
does, and it's so much better than the one that just came out.
Yes! Yes.
No.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. That 90s
I mean,
Mario
it's
Brothers
still
was,
good, but
oh my God, it was so camp and it was so dark, and
It
I
was.
I don't think people wanted that, but I did. I thought it was such a clever take, and I'm always a fan
I
of
enjoyed it.
Bob Hoskins. He's a stud.
He's
but
such a babe.
Oh my
Love
God,
I
him.
was
yes.
just like, I freaking loved that movie so much.
It's a good one.
Shit, that's going on my list tonight to watch. That's what I'm watching. I'm gonna watch
Love
my
to
Below
do it.
Deck Mediterranean, and then I'm watching Mario Brothers.
Below Deck.
I'm a reality TV whore. I can't help it. So, Liam, what's yours? Your next one?
Did anyone see the third Never-Ending Story though?
The direct to no.
The one with Jack Black.
No, what?
What? No.
So bad. It was so bad, but I loved it.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Jack Black was the villain. He's like, he plays a punk who's
No.
bullying.
Oh
The
my god.
what's he called?
Oh, even this.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Oh my
He plays a-
god.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing a punk that bullies Sebastian.
He looks so
He
emo
looks-
on this cover a little bit. Like,
He's
I know
like-
it's just
He doesn't
shadow.
look like Jack Black.
No, I know it's just shadow, but it almost looks like he's got like this long, like almost like Gary Oldman from Fifth Element, like how his hair went like this. It's just shadow. But you failed to mention something good about this, though, because I'm gonna call this out because this is what I love that there's the one of the selling points is it's the kid from Free Willy. Like, boy, nobody cares.
Yes, it is. Yes.
But it's got
Nah.
here's what I love. Songs by Roxette, love. Meatloaf, love. Aaliyah, love. Okay, so maybe I
What?
just want to listen to the soundtrack for the movie. I just want to listen to this soundtrack. Like, that is, they knew what they were doing. They're like, we don't have a good movie, so here, look what we've got. Songs
What
from
year
these
did that
people.
come
I still
out?
in 94.
Oh, I bet those songs were good. I'm gonna have to listen.
Aaliyah in 94? I guess that's true.
It was probably like right at the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it would have been, yeah, because
Because when did she
yeah.
because she did Once Upon a December for Anastasia. She did her version. Oh, I love that soundtrack.
That was 96, wasn't it?
I thought it was 96, 97, yeah.
Yeah, so that must have been like real, or I'm excited. I will listen to the soundtrack. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that movie, but that's an interesting one.
I would watch it just for the like, if you've seen the first two, I would watch it just for the silliness of it, and just to see this ridiculousness that like Jack Black, because I think it was like one of Jack Black's like first roles.
I mean, he looks obviously very young, but interesting. It's not
quite,
a look I was
it's
expecting.
quite amusing.
All right, maybe
it's amusing.
It's a maybe. Like, maybe this sometime this year, but
Liam's
it's a maybe.
face.
It's not like it's not like a run out and like, oh, I must watch it now. But it's like,
I mean,
if you're bored sometime, you're like,
Yeah, maybe
How
just a
did
quick
that
walk
go?
instead of a run towards it. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
see, it's not streaming. In
slow
order for me to
meander.
watch it, I'd have to rent it. Oh,
or you could
nope.
just
You know, I
go
won't do that. I won't do that.
pirate.
No. So, So, anyways, Liam, what is your next one?
My next one, I'm going to stick with the olden days, and I'm going with Labyrinth.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The movie of the eternal. I mean, all I can think about that movie is David Bowie's crotch.
Yeah, the cod piece.
Exactly, and it was
They
a
knew what they
wonderful
were
cod
doing.
piece.
They did. You know, I feel like everything Jim Henson ever did had like a touch of horror to it, aside from Sesame Street. Or like the
I would
Muppet.
agree. Like,
Yeah.
because
Even
just the
Sesame
creature
Street.
design.
Even some of the Muppet movies
Yeah.
from like the really late 80s and stuff were like really sad and dark. But yeah, Labyrinth is a
He
good
was
one.
he was just depressed. It's fine.
Same.
Like it's a classic. Surely it's like everyone rewatches it. I know I do. The puppet design, amazing. Hoggle. Hoggle?
I don't remember the name.
Hoggle.
You tell me. Yes, sure.
Sounds like a slur.
I wanna
believe
say
it.
I want to say it's Hoggle. That like gnome thing that with the big head that like helps around the labyrinth.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, loved him. Great.
See, when
David
you-
Bowie, so menacing, but so sexual, especially with a child. But who knows?
That's the movie
So
though I think
good.
about the hall scene that like creeps me out with all the hands coming out.
Yeah.
So that like when you were talking about like
with
Return
the
to Oz,
plaster.
this is the scene that like always freaked me out as a child when they were just running through and like all these hands just come out. I'm like, oh no.
Yes.
I think my favorite character from that film is that that grouchy old Muppet lady that has like everything on her back. She carries like
my God,
everything she
yes.
owns on her back. She's like the most terrifying thing in the entire film for me. Like her attitude alone is enough to make me want to be her friend.
Oh my God, I always forget about her. Yes, no. I also love the dog, the little dog that rides the big dog.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Did we
The
see
little
the same
bit- so
movie?
there's like
Are we talking pup play here?
Oh, so there's
I'm
like
confused. Where did we go to?
so there's like a small white puppet dog, but it rides a, like an actual dog throughout the movie.
Oh,
It's got the like the ones with the long hair, the Dulux dog.
Yeah.
Dulux, the dogs with the paint. It rides one of them throughout the film.
huh.
How do I not remember that? Are you not
I don't
talking
remember
about
that, but
It sounds like
it's
Falcor.
it's been
No,
about
it's
a
like an
decade since I've
actual
seen
dog.
Labyrinth.
Oh, I watch it all the time.
It's a comfort film.
Yeah, yeah. It's a small yappy dog dressed as a Kingsguard riding a real dog. So it's a puppet
Oh,
riding a real dog.
okay. I'm oh, I have
I'm trying
the
to
image in my
imagine
head.
it, but all I can see is like not what you're talking about.
We're not talking about Folsom.
How do you know what that is?
Not Folsom.
We've
While
all
our
seen
audience is
Random
going to have to
Suckers videos.
Google that. Don't
Um,
Google it. Well, you could, but be warned.
It's just
Um,
been on this weekend, hasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'd seen that
Right
on
about
Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Um,
fun one.
I also, yeah, my goddaughter, because that's how I started rewatching it as an adult. She was obsessed with it, and when she was 4, she went as for Halloween out as David Bowie.
Oh, that's cute. I love
I had-
that.
I like made her a little wig, a little David Bowie mullet wig, and then we went like round charity shops and got like riding gear and stuff so she could dress like him. So all the other kids were just running around as witches, and there was her as David Bowie.
Love to see it.
That's amazing.
That was great.
All right. Well, I guess I need to rewatch that too. Good Lord.
Yeah, you got
Yes.
a rewatch list after this.
Well, I guess because I've
Who knew
old
an
and I
episode would
forgot
come with
order, but
homework?
I'll go next, and then I'm trying to make sure.
It
Anyways,
was you went in a loop. Yes,
perfect.
well done.
So a film. It's
Check your batteries.
yeah. Check your batteries. So it's technically a franchise. There are 3 films. The third one sucks, so we're not even going to talk about it. But the first 2, I love and grew up with. One was in the 80s. That was the original Warlock. And then they had a sequel, Warlock 2, Armageddon. And Julian Sands played the Warlock. Oh, he was so sexy. And what was so great about both of them, obviously you dive into like Satan and just evil magic.
Oh, Richard E. Grant was in it.
He was in the first one. And so the first one, Warlock, he comes back, and I it's been a while since I watched, but I just remember is it Tawny Katane, since you're looking it up? Is that the main actress?
I see a Laurie Singer.
Laurie Singer, not Tawny Katane. I'm thinking of Witchboard. Okay, so Laurie Singer, her character,
Laurie Singer.
because the Warlock steals something from her and curses it, she is slowly aging throughout the entire film. And meanwhile, they're trying to hunt him down, and they've got to do all these spells and everything. I mean, it's also a gruesome, it's got some pretty good gore in the first one, right? But in the second one, this brings in the whole like druids and Christians and
Ooh.
Fight
to the death.
The Christians.
The second one, there is a fight to the death. This is what makes this so good, because it not only do you have the Warlock, but then you got these 2 kids who were like destined as they became older to come into the like druid powers, and he's trying to stop them, or he's trying to kill them so he can start Armageddon, and they've got to stop him. And literally it is like the Dark Phoenix but better, because we all remember how that movie was. But it's a lot of just like spells and like, oh my god, blood everywhere, and it's just chaotic, and I love it.
Cadaver.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And honestly, Julian Sands, may he rest in peace, but that man was stunning. Like, every time I was like, I know he's the villain, but yeah, you could take out my eyes any day.
I am enjoying the mullet.
I don't. I hate mullets. I'm so sick of them.
Wait, did he have a mullet? Are you sure? I thought he just had like
It's like,
really
well, it's not
long
really
hair.
like a mullet,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
like
he had
yeah.
this like
But
Fabio-like hair, and they had to pull it.
balding, so it's like
It's
Yeah.
certainly not business in the back.
Yeah, no.
no, it's not.
And then she threw that
But
ass back,
I
hairline
like-
went with it.
I did. It's fun because the original, because in the 80s it doesn't have as much technology, but then in the new one you've got these savvy kids, or I guess they're teenagers, maybe they're young adults, but and it's just like it's a battle to the death at the end, and there's just a stupid line, but it still made me laugh every time. I think it's because the line delivery was so bad, but she's like, "Welcome to the 21st century, asshole." I'm like, "Oh, okay, girl." But then she like does something stupid and like
The
knocks
late
him off his
90s were a
feet, and I'm
fun
like,
time.
I was like, yes, I love this. It's so stupid. It's great. And again, I love the whole idea of warlocks, sorcerers, witches, all that good stuff. So it's fun to get to see that, and you get to just see some gnarly kills. And I do love my gore. Like, they are literally at a fashion runway, and he's got the fashion designer up, and he pulls out her eyes because he needs them. And then he just drops her, and she comes plunging down and like crashing through the glass roof, onto the runway. And he's just hitting her eyes.
Is
And
she
I'm like,
gonna jump from
"Work."
there?
Yeah. And so I love it. It's so
The
good.
original inspiration.
Yes.
I love
the
it.
original death drop here. Yep.
It's a dip, but I guess
I've
in
never seen
her
it.
case, it's a death drop. I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen those movies.
The first
No.
one in the
No.
like,
I've recognized the poster though for the
Yes.
first one.
Yeah, I do as well.
I do
yeah.
recognize the poster.
if anything, I would say if you want, I think there's more story in the first one, and I think the second one's just fun. Like, it depends what mood you're in, but the first one, I mean, to me, it's just one of my favorites. It came out during the era of, do you remember Beastmaster?
Yes, that's so weirdly close to the movie I was just about to mention.
Well, now I want to know.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, I mean, we're apparently like all stuck in like the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
I was gonna
I'm coming up with the next one.
this is actually also like a franchise, but I have only seen like the first. I think there's like 3 or 4. I have seen the first 2. The first one's honestly the really good one, and the second one's kind of, it's just really gratuitous, like with gore and stuff, and it's a completely different like director, I think, as well. Wishmaster. Have you seen Wishmaster?
Oh my
haven't
God,
seen it.
yes. Sorry,
But
like
it's been on the list for a very long time to watch, but I've just never got round to it.
I
The
saw
first
that
one
in
is Wes
theaters.
Craven, and it is, I believe Wes Craven. Yeah.
Mhm, it is.
And it's so it's so delectably terrifying in the way that it's, back then it was kind of like a really new concept that they used, because genies, like in in mythology or whatever, like there's all kinds of different ones, and there are bad ones, and this is about like a bad one, basically, a djinn, I think is how you say it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just takes these wishes and makes them it takes them very literal. And it, like, the death scenes are just so creative because of the way these people die by wishing for these like empty wants, basically. Like, it's just very
Perfect way to say
it's
that,
about
yeah.
greed and narcissism and things, and it like it's really self-reflective if you want to look at it that way. The first one's really good. It's really captivating. The second one, however, is like unhinged in the way that the story is kind of blasé, and they're like killing for the sake of killing, and some of the death scenes are hilarious in the second one, like I won't lie. Like the lawyer guy that like she said like the girl that has like the degen at the time, she like makes the wish of oh, I want my lawyer to go himself, and he's like in the middle of a meeting and like his dick pulls back and it like goes in his, he's like starts himself in the middle of a meeting. And
okay, that's why the sequels, they're not great, but that's what there's.
Yeah, but they're so they become
they're
more
hilarious.
literal.
Like
I think the second one also
I'm all
has...
for like ridiculousness.
Oh yeah, well you'll love the second one.
Yeah,
there's one
he's
scene
in
I
the
remember.
prison,
So
right?
what's that?
He, the main bad guy, he's in the prison, isn't he?
He's in this, yeah, and the second one he's in prison, and there's one death scene in there where the guy was like, I wish I could walk right through these bars, and like it forces him through the bars, and like all of his skin and like muscle and everything is just coming off as he's getting pushed through the bars of the cell. He comes out the other side like just a gooey, gusty skeleton. It's wonderful though, because it's so literal. I was like, you hear their wish and you kind of like try to think of how it's going to like, I was like, all right, how are they going to do this? You know? So for that reason, the second one's really entertaining, but I would say if you wanted to watch a good one, watch the first one.
And the first one, like, oh man, I loved how, without giving things away, how it, the conclusion, in terms of like thinking back of everything you just saw, like I love it. Like talk about like circling back around to, you know, the beginning in a sense. And I mean, I love Wes Craven. That man owns my heart. But that movie, I remember seeing it in theaters and I was just not prepared. And the actual design too is
the character design.
All the oh yeah, and
yeah, it's really good.
Like I'll spoil one thing for you, Liam. It's not like a plot, but my favorite thing is in this film when she's like, I want you to go blow your brains out. And that scene was just, because that to me was a little bit camp, because suddenly here's a gun that you see that he cocks and then shoots. And it was just so funny. It was so campy. But I love Wishmaster. It is, that is such a good one.
It is, yeah.
Well, I've just checked on Just Watch, and it is available. I'll be nice, Yutaka. I'll pay for it. I wouldn't want to ruin anything. But it is available here for once, so I can actually watch it.
I would say you would get your money's worth on this. It really is. I've seen it since. It holds up. It's just so it's so good.
I think I might watch it tonight, actually.
That might be on my list tomorrow, because I
was going to say that'll be on tomorrow. No, I'm saying Dumb Money tomorrow. That'll be on Wednesday's list.
I want to say this was maybe when did Wishmaster come out? Was that 97 or 90?
It was like mid 90s, wasn't it? It wasn't too late. Yeah.
1997.
Okay, so that was maybe the third Wes Craven film I ever saw in theaters. So that's why
it's not available in HD anywhere, though.
No, I don't think it's been re-released or anything like that, which is a shame, because I would love to hear commentary on that film. Like that would be fun to watch.
It would be, yeah.
I would love to see like just some of the behind the scenes and the setup. And honestly, the guy who plays the Andrew Divoff or whoever, he's hot. So I'm like, yes, again. I'll wish for something bad.
He is a little bit, and then he's like looks a little Benedict Cumberbatch sometimes, and I'm like,
hey, don't you be coming for our Benedict?
You can Benedict. Yeah, but he's not as like, I don't know. He's got this, when he grins, it is so devilish and so like,
it's because he has what I call he has like a Who face. Like from Whoville, like he's got like one of those. He's got one of those like things where like he's like. Like when his smile, like his like upper lip completely disappears and just
Oh
becomes
my
this
God.
very like cheeky, scary looking face. I'm
Oh
like,
my God,
"Ew."
yes.
Yeah.
I've just looked at an image. Yeah, his top lip completely disappears.
Yeah.
he's just I do. I really I think he's a bad guy in A Low Down Dirty Shame as well.
I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, but that's a good movie.
Yeah.
One of my I enjoy that one. A good old classic Jada Pinkett Smith. But Liam, what's another one for that you've got?
So I'm gonna update myself a little bit, and I'm gonna go with 2004's Hellboy.
Yes! Oh my God, stop. If you didn't say it, I was going to.
That movie.
Now we're gonna crack into the Del Toro.
Oh, I love
Yay! Yes. I am still to this day mad as hell that I didn't have a third one.
agreed.
I still don't understand why we had to go through this. Even though I'm not one of them people that hates the remake, I kind of enjoy it.
Chuckled at it. But...
Yeah.
The second one?
I thought David Harbour did well. No, so they did a remake in 2019. Because they kept on saying they were going to make a third, they were going to make a third, they were going to make a third. And then they just went, we're not making a third, we're doing a remake, and now it's David Harbour.
Oh, instead of
And Mila Jovovich as Blood Witch.
Oh.
She was quite camp. I enjoyed her.
I didn't see it.
She was Mila Jovovich.
You're not missing much. Sorry, Ron Perlman.
Yeah, you're not
as
missing
Hellboy,
anything, but
like he
oh, top tier.
Yes.
Ron Perlman.
Like I mean, thankfully the strikes are ending. But when he was on there and he got on and was like, "You talking about taking my homework?" He had this speech. I was just like, I was like, "Oh my God." You don't with Ron Perlman. That's all I got from that. But
no,
yeah, him as Hellboy, and also Selma Blair. Like,
Hello.
I love Selma Blair so much. She was so good as Liz. Like, she got the balance of the despair, but the hopefulness with that character, and it was just so well done.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I agree.
And Doug Jones is Abe.
I was just about to say, I was just like, in Del Toro fashion, of course, Doug Jones is in it, and he does wonderfully as what was the character's name?
Abe.
Abe
Sabian.
Yeah,
I think
I want to
Abe,
say. Yeah.
that sounds right. You sound confident. So
I wanted him to kick more
Thank you.
ass, though. I was a little upset. Like, I thought in the second movie he was gonna have like a really I don't know. I mean, he's smart, he's cool.
It would
but
be kind of out of character. I think
that's
his
true.
wit and his mind is his biggest weapon, and
that's true.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'll take that over.
And that's all you need.
Yeah, you got enough brute from Ron Perlman, you greedy bottom. They can't all be tops.
Abe just has like the body type. Like I expect, I would be like, dude, he could do some badass martial arts. Like that's what, because you don't get that from Hellboy, of course, because he's brute strength and he's just gonna knock his way through everything.
He's not very compact though. I mean, I'm pretty long too, and I feel like when I swing on somebody, they see it coming because the wind up be way back here. Like you got long arms, it take a while to get to your head, but it's gonna hurt when it do.
But they've got time to move. Oh.
Exactly.
See, that's when you drop low and you sweep kick them.
Yeah.
Well, we can't all be 2 foot away from the ground, unfortunately.
Well, you know,
you hateful.
He is. But
I'm calling HR.
He is HR, so like, it's okay because
I can say what I want.
I still can.
You know what's crazy about Hellboy is I just saw the second one this year, and I didn't even know it was like existed.
What? Oh
yeah, and I was like, I'm really
so
disappointed
good.
about it because I watched. I was like, this is amazing. Because one of my favorite like characters from mythology is Baba Yaga, just because she's just iconic, and like the way that they made her in that film is like horrifying. And it's so cool. I was like, oh my god, her house, like the way they like actually made her hut like the way that it is. It's in like, it's Russian folklore, right? Baba Yaga.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it was just a character I didn't expect to see, and I was like, so I was like, wait, are they talking about the Baba Yaga? It was great. The second one was really cool.
It was.
The first one was, just that's the classic though. I feel like I saw it as a kid, and
Oh no. Baba Yaga was in the remake.
that's the remake.
That's the remake, the one with Baba Yaga, yeah.
So what's the second one then?
The second one's the Golden.
When did the
Golden
second
Army.
one come out? The second one come out like
2008.
yeah, I was gonna say 2007 or 8. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the one I've seen. So maybe I haven't ever seen the first one. I think I may have only ever seen the second one and the remake.
Well, I think it sounds like you've got a new Hellboy to watch.
There it is.
does. I remember like because the first one, it's like when they find him like in a cave. It's like his little origin story in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like they find him during World War.
So that is the first one.
II.
So maybe I just okay.
I think it's
so
like
I haven't,
Germany
so I haven't seen the second one. Is
finding
what it is. So I've
Because
seen
the
the
second
first
one is the Golden Army, right? And they have the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one with Matt Goss with the
with-
long blonde.
Yeah, that I haven't seen that one.
See, and that like the way
Okay,
he
so
fights,
that's
though,
the second one.
that's what I could see like Abe Sapien
Yeah.
fighting like. That's
Uh,
see the
yeah,
like the second one's
no,
fun.
it's-
It's pretty too. Oh, I love some of
Oh
the
yeah,
design.
the place where the finale takes place, it's all like gold and ornate and pretty. It's anything gold and shiny, and I'm like, oh, I'm there. But no, that's so that one's really good. But yeah, the one with Baba Yaga, that's the remake. That's the one everyone.
I didn't mind
hated.
it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good as well, which is why I never understood the hate. But everyone was just like, well, he's not Ron Perlman. And I'm like, well, he's not trying to be Ron Perlman.
No, he
Um,
wasn't. I think we still just wanted that third film. I mean, I did, but
yeah, I think if
I
we
will
did
say
get in the third film,
we're not getting
people
it,
would have been
but
more
yeah.
accepting.
Like,
But-
look, I still enjoyed it. Did I like it as much? No. I mean, I still sat through it, and I was like, I wasn't mad that I sat through it, kind of thing. Like, I've seen
tolerated
several
it.
films. Yeah,
Mm.
like Exorcist.
Well, I enjoyed it when
No.
I sat through. I enjoyed
But
it when
we're
I sat
dropping
through.
this next week.
I liked-
and embargo will be up.
Oh yeah, you're fine. I liked oh god, because obviously it was a new person. It was
Control
Alice.
Alt Delete just happened.
I thought it froze.
I liked Alice in the remake. It happens quite regularly. I'm thinking, and then if I think, I just stay still. I'm like TikTok from Return to Oz. I need wound up.
Stop. That's a nice little callback.
No, I liked the person that they used in the remake because obviously they couldn't. It was a new story, so they didn't bring in Selma Blair's character. They brought in a new one, Alice, and I enjoyed her. I thought she did really well. I mean, but yeah, I think overall for me, the whole Hellboy series so far has been enjoyable.
Yeah, the game doesn't look like it's
And I
going to be
don't
too
care.
great though.
Right.
There's a game.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
released a trailer for it. I think was it during like the PlayStation showcase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like a Wolverine game that's coming out,
I can't.
and
wait for that
there's-
one.
I seen the.
and there was also the
seen
Hellboy one. And the Hellboy one, it's like
uh,
it's just not what I wanted. I was like, oh come on. It's like this weird, like rendered, like
Oh,
strange animation that's like kind of like pop art almost, which is it's cool, but
it's a bit
just-
like Spider-Verse.
yeah.
It's just not what you want from a
animation-wise.
Hellboy game, though.
Yeah.
no, I was
No.
like,
You want the
no.
details. You want like the. There's just.
I want like an open world Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or even something that could be like Guardians of the
Oh.
Galaxy, that was the game that they did as like Hellboy.
See, I've not played that game.
Oh, that's
You'd
a
love
bit
it.
sad.
I don't know. I've been addicted to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so
Oh, I have not played it. Isn't
Oh
it
my God,
strictly
same.
online?
yeah, strictly online.
Yeah.
That's why I can't play games like that. Like everyone's like, "Oh my God, play Dead by Daylight." I was like, "No."
It's so Texas Chainsaw's
No.
fun when you're in a group with people you know, or just turn off voice chat because you don't have to work as a group.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't
still just
talk.
save yourself.
Oh, work. Well, that's
Yeah,
no
that's
fun.
what I
And
do
that's
half
what
the
I do.
time.
I don't know.
Somebody's like
I'd
getting
rather
attacked,
be
and
like
bye.
chasing.
You could also play as the killers.
Oh, well, you can
Oh, you can be the
yeah, you can
killer?
play the killer.
Yeah, you can either
Yeah.
play as the family or the victims. And the family, they've got, well, your Leatherface, then they've got the cook, and then they've got Sissy, who's a real bitch, in my opinion, because
Love
she's got
her.
really good powers.
Yes.
And then you've got Johnny, who we all want, because he's got cakes and he's hot. And the
Johnny is
the actual,
delicious.
the actor who
Shut
plays
up!
him, the actor who actually plays him is he trolls everybody online, and it's so amazing. He's just so funny. Because oh my goodness, yeah, I and that actor's been in several really great horror films. But yeah, no, Johnny, whew,
Yes.
he could come after me and swing at me. Hey.
This girl.
Yeah, but no, Texas Chainsaw, it's a lot of fun. It's so
Interesting.
I didn't expect them to actually have like skill trees or different abilities, and they really, if they could just fix some of the glitches and bring back cross-platform, honey. Ooh,
Oh, I'm still pissed off that we don't have cross-platform anymore.
Yeah, well, but
Yeah,
oh,
well.
they'll bring it back at some point. I don't know. I mean, it's okay.
They will. Yeah.
But speaking of, Hellboy and oh my God. Oh wait, no, it's my turn now, isn't it?
Your turn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens. Okay. So we have not. Okay, I'm also going to. Why are we? Wait, is mine? Let me double check. Oh, okay, mine's 2001. All right, I do have one that came out last year that I'll have as my final one. But this is a film that I saw because it came out in 2001, so I was still in high school, and I just remember my French teacher because she knew I loved horror, and she's like, "You would just love this film," and it was very popular over in France, and it ended up picking up steam here, and it's Brotherhood of the Wolf. And so it's a French period action fantasy horror film, and it's anything with Monica Bellucci I'm here for, because I think she's amazing. It's got Mark Dacascos, I think that's how you say his name, and Vincent Cassel, and it's I'm just reading it. It's been a while since it's seen. So it takes place 18th century France, where the Chevaliers de Frontenac or Frontenac, ooh, I don't know, whatever, and many of the Iroquois tribe are sent to investigate the mysterious slaughter of hundreds by an unknown creature. And what I love about this is, one, the costume design.
I enjoy how you missed out that last word.
Yeah, I was not gonna. It's been a while.
You looked in the last word of that synopsis and you went, I'm not gonna be able to say that, so I'm just gonna pretend that this is what the sentence ends.
Let's see here. Javaudan. Javaudan. Oh, okay.
You got it right.
There we go. But it's not only do you have, one of my favorite things is, again, it's kind of got like a werewolf's underlying, storyline. But what I love is that, again, their costume design from the 18th century, like, oh my God. And so you got swashbuckling, and then you've got some really badass martial arts, and you've also
you didn't like pirates?
Huh?
Thought you didn't like pirates?
Well, not when they're stealing shit. This isn't One
That's literally
Piece,
what it means
sir.
to be a pirate.
Yeah, this is not One Piece. All right, you are not, Luffy. Okay, that's the only pirate that I will stand by.
He's kind
That's
of a
actually a
clown
good
too,
series.
isn't he? Clown pirate.
Oh, what's his name? Oh yeah, he was a funny character. When you see him out of costume, my goodness, the casting on them, they worked. But anyways, yeah, back to this. So again,
Such a perv.
yeah, I know. It's very I'm not gonna say like a male version of Ginger Snaps, because do you remember Ginger Snaps back to the beginning where it was like the origin story? And then I'm trying to get like the costumes, but I'm
No.
not doing it justice. Either way, it's just
I can see
great.
the photo.
Yeah. I don't know how to other explain it then. Just it's a murder mystery going after Beast, and lots of action and lots of death. So it's not big
Yay!
on the scares, but I do think it holds your attention, and it's very action packed, and it's one of my favorites just because I remember which was rare, but when it was picking up steam, I got to see that in theaters, which at the time, still seeing like foreign films like that were not wide release. It's, and you didn't get that sometimes in St. Louis, and that was nice to see.
It's saying here it got a 2022 4K re-release in a director's cut.
I need to watch that because I need to, that was not.
And it's based off a real thing.
Well, yes and no.
It's based off a real life string of murders in the 18th century. Obviously, they've embellished it a little bit for the movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's what they do. I'm not saying it's a fucking word for word retelling of these murders.
Fair. Either way, if you have, I think it's a little almost 2 hours. If you have some time to kill and you want to just see some, I don't know how to explain other than just a kick-ass, horror film, check it out.
It's got Vincent Cassel in it, so
the next one I promise I'll sell, because the next one I had a lot of fun with, and it has Nicolas Cage. So the next one I sell.
If it's what I think it is, I'm gonna end myself.
Oh no! I know a lot of people hated it, but I know a lot of people hated it, but
season finale of me.
Uh-oh. I'll switch. I've got more. I'll switch.
No, do it. Let's see what happens.
So, Dahli, what's your next pick?
I will go for fairly recent, because I felt like there was a lot less sci-fi and a lot more of like fantasy. Did you watch the new season of Black Mirror?
Mm-hmm.
There's only like 6 episodes, I think, or something. And I think only maybe the first one is really sci-fi. And then for the majority of it, it's all like fantasy kind of stuff. Particularly, what is that one episode? The paparazzi one. That felt like an episode of Captains of Curiosities.
With the tapes?
No, that one was like that one was a very like realistic kind of horror. No. The paparazzi one with it's called Maisie Day.
Oh,
and it's about like the pop star.
Yes.
And
that was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider that like fantasy, because I had no idea where the fuck it was going. Like, and I guess it really doesn't become fantasy until like the very end. But once that ending happens, it shifts and makes you like look at the entire rest of it, and you're like, oh, duh, of course. And then also that episode that was on the season with the Satan, or it was supposed to be like Lucifer or a demon or something. She like finds like this rune, and it's this like average lady that works at like a shoe store or something.
I only watched the first 3.
And she like makes friends with like this demon, and she has to kill 3 people, and it's like so whimsy. It feels like an episode of like Tales from the Crypt or something, because it's just
I could see that.
It's so strange, and so I was like, what show is this still? It was very weird, but I was like, I mean, Black Mirror has been like just beating the shit out of sci-fi for so long, and that's like their go-to is like heavy on like AR and AI and VR, and like it's just like really into like intelligence and technology and stuff. And that's awesome. But I was like, they're gonna run out of ideas soon. And I'm glad that they made like this nice little shift. I was like, maybe the next season will be even more so that way. But from what I hear, everyone hated it. So
Which
I
okay,
was going to say, yeah.
because that second episode, the one that was a little too real, like that freaked me out.
that was
But-
heavy.
Yeah. But
I was like, whoa.
Was that the one with the parents? The one in Scotland?
Are they in Scotland?
It's like that one I think is towards the end, no?
Yeah, no, I think that's a different one.
The one
This
that's like
is-
in Ireland or something.
Mm-hmm.
That one's really good, but that one's not the one that I'm thinking of. It's the one where the guy is like they're like up in space and they can like have
Oh,
They
with
can, like-
That was a messed up one.
yeah, but
Josh
it's like
Hartnett.
yeah, that
Was
one's
Josh
really
Hartnett?
messed up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that one too fantasy. Like that's definitely
That's
like
more, yeah. I
sci-fi.
liked the one where she had to kill 3 people though. That
I
was-
loved it too.
It was so I'm like, this is
It was so weird and
unique.
so like dated. Like it felt like something from like the early 90s, like Tales from the Crypt or like Outer Limits or like that Twilight Zone
Outer
reboot they had.
I used
It
to
was
watch
so
Outer
strange.
Limits so much. Oh my
Me
goodness.
too. I loved it. But that episode made me feel very old. I was like, oh, this is something that I would have came out when I was a kid. It was good.
Just get no, stop. I want to feel young again. Go back
I
to
guess
the
that's not
technology.
technically a film, but I
It's
know
still
Liam
good.
has like a list.
I mean,
No, TV's fine.
good. I'm a fan. I mean,
Jobs are
again,
good.
yeah, if you have not seen those, Liam, definitely at least the one where she finds she's working with Lucifer. That is,
Yeah.
that was a hot, that
Well, I
was
watched
so
obviously.
refreshing.
I watched obviously Joan. Joan is awful.
No, that was weird.
I'm sure.
Oh, that
I'm
was
sure
like
that
it was
Scott-
like really far fetched, but like so real at the same time. I was like, that could totally
Yeah.
happen to somebody.
I could see that.
Why
We don't
y'all
read the
Um,
terms
my
and
friend.
conditions.
Like I am sure the Scottish one where the parents ended up being the killers was the second one because I definitely
Oh,
watched it
okay.
and I just watched it in
that is
order.
Scottish. You're right. Okay, you're correct.
Oh, I
Okay.
said Ireland. My
Yes.
bad. Is that the
Okay.
second
How
episode?
dare Scotland's real.
I love Scotland. I've
Think
never
of
even
Amer-
been to Ireland. It's sad.
No, I'm sure that was the second one because I watched Joan
is,
is Awful,
yeah.
then it went straight into that, and then it went into that the I can't remember what it's actually called, the one with the in space.
And then you had to stop after
And
that because you were
then-
like, I'm gonna go cry in the shower, right? Because that was a lot.
No, because then I fell asleep.
Liam's like, I can't be bothered at
So-
this point.
No, sure the can't.
Look, I'm fat, lazy, and tired. Like this is what happens.
My favorite.
So yeah, fell asleep, and then just never went back because I forgot.
Mm. You're missing some gems then. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
there's some good ones, and
but-
some of it doesn't even feel like
I
Black
would have
Mirror when you're
remembered.
watching it.
Oh, I read the reviews. I was like, oh, people are mad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know why because it's really well done. I thought all the stories were really good, but people will never be
Yeah,
happy. People don't want to be satisfied. Or,
Never.
yeah, no, there are always just critical moments.
This is just one.
Yeah.
But no, because I fell asleep, I just played the rest of the season.
Oh no.
Mm.
So it never showed up in me like continue watching. So I just never went back. Because it needs to be there for us to know that I need to continue.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, yeah.
I'm just like
That's an ADD thing for sure. I need things like to be right
Yeah.
in front of me because if they're not in sight, I
Yes.
forget about them completely.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah, with everything. It's awful. It was like, you're such a minimalist. I was like, because if it's buried somewhere, I'm never gonna find it or see it again.
Because once it's not in plain view, it's gone.
It's
doesn't
gone. It
exist
does not
anymore.
exist to me. Yeah, and in the same way with people sometimes too. I'll like completely forget that I like have like friends because I just don't. If I don't see them for like a month or something, I forget. And then I'm like, why am I so lonely?
No, feel that.
Yeah, it's totally an ADD thing.
I've been in the house for a month and I'm just like, I should do things.
Leave the house.
But I won't.
I have like,
No, I went to say
dangerously low
busted the
vitamin
other
D
week.
levels. I'm like, I need to go outside and touch grass, but I live in the desert, so it's very hard to do here.
Maybe touch some sand. Who knows?
Yeah, just go in the sunlight, baby. Oh shit.
Well, I've got one more, and I got 1.5 because I'll just say I was gonna mention Renfield, but I know a lot of people hated that movie.
Boo!
I know a lot of people
That's exactly what I knew you were gonna say. Why did that come up in my list today? And I was like, ew.
But okay. The movie would have been so much better had they just really leaned more into Nicolas Cage's Dracula. Because him as Dracula was hilarious. I'm not saying he was a good Dracula. I'm not saying he was good.
Complained, so I was just like,
I just hate Nicolas Cage, and I don't know why.
Well, that's fair. Okay. Then you
Sorry, I don't mean to say that I hate him. I dislike him as I don't like his face.
Dislike him vehemently.
It's really just his face, and I've seen it on so many inanimate objects now that I'm like, I hate that face.
Okay, all right.
If only you could take his face off.
I know when and then I saw that Marilyn Manson started aging, and he looks so much like Nicolas Cage, and I was just like, perfect, it's a good time to hate you. It's like, what is
my
it?
God, they do look alike.
Yeah. Like a lot. They look
now.
Just as much alike as Caitlyn Jenner looks like Janice Dickinson.
Oh my God.
Janice Dickinson popped up on my TikTok feed the other day, and I was like, what the f is Caitlyn Jenner doing on my feed? And I was like, oh shit.
It is scary, isn't it?
Janet Dickinson. I was like, holy hell.
Oh my God.
It pushed your wig back, didn't it?
Cage, and that is Nicolas Cage in makeup.
Hello?
I will never be able to think of Nicolas Cage ever again. Well,
exactly. See, and then watch Renfield.
Well, all right. Well, then what I was going to go is another animation, and it's a series, and it's got a new one coming up, a spinoff that I love the series.
Big Mouth?
Yeah, no. I know everyone talked, which I do love, The Last of Us, and I thought the TV series was fantastic, but there's also another really great video game adaptation, and that's Castlevania. That was fantastic. 4 seasons of nothing but the lore, character, world building, getting to see like how sexy yet vicious Dracula was, but also giving you one of the best boss battles. Like the finale of season 2, I was like, don't even come back after that, guys. You really just, I mean, I'm happy they did, but that battle was disgustingly good. And again, you get to see different types of vampires with different like power sets, and then oh my God,
what do you mean? The Blade trilogy is right there. That has multiple different vampires.
Those are like karate vampires, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that. I love the first Blade so much.
Same.
And second one's okay. Third one's not great, but it's got Parker Posey, so it gets a pass.
Yeah.
So that
agreed.
Why Parker Posey? I never understand why everyone like why I had never heard of this lady until like a couple of years ago, and then all of a sudden I was like, that's the lady from Best in Show, and they're like, that's Parker Posey, and I was like, I don't know her by name or anything, and then ever since then,
Judy Jurgensen.
I see and hear her name everywhere now, and I'm like, why do people love her so much?
I mean, so I will say one of her films,
she is an icon, a legend.
She is,
and she is the moment.
I would have to say, like, it's a very queer-coded film, and it's just something I saw when I was very young, and that's Party Girl.
I've never seen that.
And that came out, I want to say 95 or 96. And I mean, I was already out at the time, but there still wasn't a lot of like really good queer media. And she was kind of, when she was coming up as like the indie it girl, and so she tended to do more projects like that, and I just ever since I've just always been a fan. So
I love that.
Party Girl was just, oh my god, like the fashions of the 90s, and just to not the cares of not really needing to do anything but still being able to
Fashion.
live in New York. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's great. Like, yeah, Friends gave us this unrealistic, look at what it's like to live in New York. But
You mean Sex in the City?
that too? Yeah. I'm like, okay, girl, yeah, you could afford that apartment. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, so I
Yeah.
love Parker Posey, and that's why she gets a pass, because she just always knows how to. Gosh, she always sells it. I can't think of a film that I've seen that, even if I didn't like the film, I always appreciated her in it.
Yeah, I liked her in I watched Lost in Space, or
That
the
shocked me that
series.
she was in that,
And she
did
was
that.
she was really good. Yeah, she was like she was the main lady. She was the boss in that one.
Yeah. She was
Um
the gender swap, wasn't she? The gender swap, the villain.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I didn't see the original Lost in Space, but I do know that is one of the things that were
I
changed
didn't see
about
the
it.
original either. I
Yeah.
seen the awful 90s version with Matt LeBlanc.
Oh God, I have to.
Perfect.
That's such a bad fit, such a bad film. But anyways, yeah, Castlevania. If you've played the video games, you'll love it. But if you haven't, you don't need to, because again, it gives you all that rich history. And oh man, I like sometimes when I watch that series, like the new one comes out in a couple weeks, I'm like, gosh, I would have loved to have lived back then. But then I think, nope, I probably would have died, probably in my head on one of those.
Yeah, I was like, girl, you would have been
like,
burned to the stake.
I would have. Well, no, that's what's so great about Castlevania. Alucard he's a bisexual king, so and he gets it.
Ooh.
Alucard. I'm so triggered by that.
I mean, I don't know if you ever played the game, but like,
No, just the word Alucard.
No.
Because they did that acting challenge on Dragula where they made us all say that, and I was like, I don't get it. What is this? They're like, it's Dragula backwards. I was like, oh. Oopsie doodle. I have been recommended to watch Castlevania multiple times. That I've been told to play the game. I haven't. I know, because I was like, I'm like, really, I love animation, but I'm so like so weird about certain kinds of animation. Like the new Ninja Turtles movie that just came out, that animation was it was a hard pill for me to swallow for like the first 15-20 minutes, because I was like, I feel like overstimulated or something by that kind of animation, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's like the stop motion stuff is a little like, makes me queasy sometimes.
Yeah, Castlevania is definitely more in the veins of like anime when I look at it. I mean, I know it's Netflix, it's
right
here, but to me it is all things, it's anime. And
I mean, maybe it'll be my
half hour. It's half-hour episodes, so that's what's great about it too. So it's an easy binge. Like you could watch
little
the first
quick nibbles.
Like I think the first season was only 6 episodes. They're not like these.
Oh, okay.
These series that have like what I think One Piece is over 1,000 episodes. I'm never gonna watch that. That it's a great show, I hear. So I'll just stick to the live action remake.
Episodes.
The original, I think the original One Piece is the longest running anime over in Japan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nope.
Yeah, I don't. It would take it would take 3 years plus to watch that. Even
and
if
they'd be like, yeah, and you'd always be 3 years behind if they're cranking them out at that rate.
Yeah, they're still. Yeah, it's
too much.
It's still their biggest, So, but yeah, I really love Castlevania, and if you like side scrollers, like some of the original PlayStation, even Nintendo ones, like Castlevania is such a great side-scrolling action game.
I'm not crazy about side scrollers.
Then you're not going to want to play the game. So if you're not gonna if you don't like side scrollers, don't let anybody tell you need to play the game.
Isn't there another series that's coming out that's based on it's an adaptation from a video game? Isn't like are they not doing a series on Silent Hill or something like that?
I know they're about to remake the game. I don't. I've heard.
Yes.
Oh no, wait. I think you're right. There's some. I mean, there's
There's something in that vein, and I can't recall really what it was.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know how
mind
often.
seeing a TV series of Silent Hill.
Yeah, because then they could do it like kind of like a slower pace to actually get their way through the story, like kind of like Last of Us. Like if they tried to cram all that into one movie, it would have been just
Oh,
a disaster.
be a mess.
Yeah, so it was good to have it in a series because it's like games are long. And making them into movies, I'm like, you're cutting out like sometimes like 30 hours
much.
of content, basically. I'm like, that's insane. So huh. I wonder what it is. I think it's Silent Hill. It could be like Resident Evil or something like that. Something.
It says there's a an animated show for Silent Hill coming out.
Is
It
it
says
Oh.
2023, but it doesn't have a date. So it
Animated.
says Silent Hill
Sign me the
Ascension.
fuck up. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm shocked that it's animated. I don't remember that. I hope that's
Oh.
real. It'd be interesting.
It says
it
Silent Hill
Netflix?
Ascension is an interactive streaming series.
Oh no. Y'all, sometimes you think you've got something good going. Y'all remember the interactive Black Mirror?
Yeah, I do. I never did it.
It's not good. I don't like the main character.
Oh?
You could make good choices, bad choices, but either way, I was just not feeling it. So if they're gonna do that with that, oh, I don't know. Guys, come on. Y'all can do better. Watch it come out on Netflix too.
It will, and you know
It
will.
doesn't.
Maybe it's
doesn't
stuck
have
in
a-
development hell, which would be a blessing.
It has a trailer.
Oh,
What?
shit. I'll watch that later. All right.
Oh no, it's saying it's a game.
Oh,
So it says it's an interactive series at the top, and then when you get right down the bottom, it says it's being developed by such and such team for PC and PS5.
oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't mind a new Silent Hill video game. Okay. Work.
She's
Well, that's
happy.
confusing.
Kid.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I mean, look, I remember playing. I still actually own. I think I should sell that. Yeah, there are people out there who still buy PS1 video
You
games.
do what
Like
you need to do.
I sold my PS1 copy of the original Final Fantasy VII for $100.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's
I was
nuts.
like-
I was just looking at PS1s like the other day.
I still
have the Spice World game.
I know you do, but I still
There
have
was a
another
game?
copy. Yeah.
I will never sell it.
Look, I mean, who am I to tell somebody you could just pay $10 to get it, a copy of yourself of Final Fantasy VII to download. But if you want to pay me $100, okay, all right. I still did keep one for myself because it's a collectible.
Wow. Yeah, memories.
But as always, we always deviate. Did either of you have any fantasy horror? Oh, I do have one other series too. I knew you were gonna say that too. That's why you wore that shirt. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's
I didn't have it on my list because we talk about it all the time.
But it's a great film.
So I was like,
I want to see
put it on the list.
I didn't bring it up because I
But
thought
honorable
I talked
mention.
about it last time.
But it's such a good movie.
It is.
That we could talk. Look, I want to see the musical.
Yeah,
I really want to see the musical.
Yeah, I don't even like musicals, but how bad could it be?
Oh, it's
I
got
would
Megan
be happy
Hilty
if
in
it
from
was both
Smash.
bad and good. Like it could go either way, and I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it's the same because it's meant
No.
kind of to be.
It has Megan Hilty in it. It's going to be good. She was amazing in Smash.
The Goldie Hawn's eye on your shirt is like sticks out like a sore thumb for some reason. Oh my god, look, there's both. They're terrifying.
Yeah.
they're like in 4K, and the rest of her is in like
Breakfast.
like 4080p.
I love that. I mean,
720p,
Yeah.
1080p.
It's so why is it like that? It's so strange.
Because they're
I
so
don't
blue.
know.
They're
I
so
think it's
like
just. I think it's just the. Yeah, I think it's just the way it's being picked up in the camera. Because if I look at it myself like this, they don't really stand out.
yeah, no, they stand out.
Yeah, that's like
But on
literally all
camera,
I've been
they're
able to
really
look
standing
at when
out.
Liam's talking. I can just see like one eye just glaring at me, and I was like,
It's a curse.
I love that movie though. I mean, it's a classic. It's one I can always watch.
yeah. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yes.
I like know that violin riff like I so well. It's ridiculous. I can hear 3 seconds of it, and I know exactly what I'm listening to.
Just Also, The Mummy.
The good one, right? We're not talking about the Tom Cruise one.
No, we're talking about Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise
Just
one.
making sure.
Obviously.
Just making sure.
Sure.
Okay,
You know,
but
Brendan
Russell
Fraser-
Crowe
Brendan
was
Fraser
really
one.
good as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But yes, no,
He
Brendan
was,
Fraser's The
and
Mummy.
it's a shame that that didn't happen. But
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser's Mummy, top
Oh,
tier.
oh God. Like I
And
remember when I
Rachel
Bedazzled.
Weisz looked hot as shit in that movie. Let's not talk about Bedazzled. Things will happen.
let's not talk about what?
Bedazzled. Have you ever seen Bedazzled?
Oh,
With Liz
my God.
Hurley.
That's kind
Yeah,
of
no,
it's like
yes.
PG-13 version of Wishmaster almost.
Oh my God. And the outfits
Yes.
and the characters that she's always in.
So good.
And I still, oh my God, the box I
Amazing.
always remember like walking by it and I'm like, it wasn't my thing, but I'm like, she's serving.
She
really is
was
serving.
like that film really puts a spotlight on Brendan Fraser of how great of an actor he is, because he plays like a dozen different characters,
Mhm.
and one of them like
Yeah.
he's like fluent in Spanish for one of them, which is just insane. I was like, what?
Oh, I love Brendan Fraser. I'm so happy he's back and he's now happy again.
Yeah,
I
he's
can't
getting
wait
his
for Doom
flowers. It's good
Patrol.
to see.
The final episodes of Doom Patrol. I'm like I think only 3 people watch
Yeah.
that series. I'm one of them.
Never seen
You
it.
are.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Don't watch it.
You really shouldn't. I think the main villain right now is literally it's a bunch of butts. It's
Yeah.
butts that
Whale.
open up and eat people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol said,
I mean,
hey.
the tables have turned.
Yeah. Right?
It's like they seen George and went, an idea.
They did.
But
Okay, all right. So you got that. Dolly, did you have any other last ones to mention?
I do not off the top of my head, no. I mean, just everything by Del Toro and the Cabinet of Curiosities, that's on Netflix. That was I mean, Del Toro is the whole reason why I even was like, what kind of horror is this considered? And I was like, this, because whatever it is my favorite. So I was like, oh, it's like fantasy horror most of the time.
I remember seeing Pan's Labyrinth in theaters and not knowing what I was getting into. And I think
Brilliant.
that was my first experience of a Del Toro movie, like actually his type of horror and storytelling. I was just like, I was mesmerized. Like the creatures in that film
Yeah,
are
it's beautiful.
terrifying.
Yeah,
And-
even the fairies are terrifying.
Oh my God. Like the man knows what he's doing. And I just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he has a touch. Even like Crimson Peak, even like Mama. It seems like it should be more disturbing than what it is, but it's so like fantastical that it's like still
it's the
I love Crimson.
It's unsettling more than it is scary.
that you say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things to see is like snow and then like blood on snow. There's just something about it. Like it's so striking. And so I love that like towards the end in Crimson Peak, and oh God. Also the set design was stunning for that film.
Oh yeah. Well, it just
Like
all of them are just so unruly. Even I guess Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I guess that's considered like fantasy horror too. And that was also Del Toro.
Yeah.
that one, ooh. It still makes me like when the kid's eating the chili or the stew, I'm like, what? He doesn't realize there's a toe? This giant toe? Like, who does not? I mean, come on.
You don't remember in the 90s when that lady found like a finger in her chili at Wendy's, and then it turned out that it was like her aunt's finger that had been dead for like a month, and she like took her aunt's finger and kept it in her freezer until she like went to Wendy's and like put the finger in her chili so she could sue Wendy's. You don't remember this?
I'm gonna look this up. I love stuff like that. That is great.
Because it happened, I believe it happened in Florida, and that's where I'm
gosh.
from. And I was like, of course this is happening here. But yeah,
that sounds like a Florida thing.
Yeah, there are crazy lawsuits out there against like fast food places. Now that clearly is a fake one. Well, I mean, I'm sure
no, that was lawsuit. It was a very
I meant,
real, like the lawsuit was very real. Yeah, until they identified the finger.
Yeah,
because they were like, this is your dead aunt's finger. Yeah.
What was it? Obviously there's the famous,
there were so many lawsuits like in the 90s and early 2000s against fast
where
food.
the person burnt their, which again,
they burnt their tongue eating their,
they burnt their, but they burnt their like genitals because they decided, hey, I'm gonna get hot coffee, and before I drive off, instead of putting it in my cup holder, I'm gonna use my legs to hold it. That's your own goddamn fault, dumbass. Just me. Oh, I had to study that case for one of my business law things.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was dumbfounded because the person won millions and millions of dollars. What? Oh yeah, they sued, and for some reason, there was like an expectation that
proper labeling or something.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why McDonald's ended up having to change all their stuff when it came to like, if you were to go get coffee, they had to have certain lids. It has to be, now you clearly have to know it's hot, because it was this was mid 90s, but it was a big lawsuit. And I mean, granted, yes, I think they definitely scarred themselves. I don't think intentionally, obviously, but I was just like, that's
probably the lawsuit that set off the finger in the chili. She was like, oh, if this fool can do it, I can do it too.
Pretty much, it did. There were so many other like copycat lawsuits of people. Now, some things were legitimate. Like I forgot, somebody found like it was a piece of glass and something. I was like, yeah, no, sure, but yeah, it's just some weird stuff. But I will end with this one more anime series, because I love my anime, but it's also fantasy horror. I know, but it's Full Metal Alchemist, either just its initial run or Brotherhood, because it deals with homunculi, deals with the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. And it has to deal with basically Edward and Alphonse wanted to bring back their mom, and so they tried to summon her using what they thought was the Philosopher's Stone. And it also has to deal with alchemy, and obviously pay, like you have to give something in order to gain something, and it's just, oh my god. And I can't even just explain how much I love that series. Like that was a series I watched for an entire year, because it was on Adult Swim, a new episode every Saturday night, and I watched it. Like that was like appointment viewing. This was before DVR, so I actually, if I missed it because I was working, literally was recording it on the VCR, and not beta. Before you say that, I see your face. I see your face, Liam. But yeah, I had to record it, so I would like have to program my VCR.
I would never.
Every night, every Saturday night to watch that. But it's a very good show,
good
and it
days.
is horrific. Yeah. So yeah, it's another good fantasy.
Well
horror.
done.
Yeah, I think this was a fun conversation. We always, as always, we get derailed, but more importantly, I'm just happy we got to hang out with Dahli again.
Oh, it's lovely to hang out with you as well.
Your face.
Not all of us.
So before we go, where can everyone find you?
America's Most Wanted.
Hey, a career's a career. I'm not gonna knock it. You do what you gotta do to get paid.
I'm on Instagram, and I think I only have Instagram and Twitter. I think after our last conversation, I had lost my main account, and I had got locked out of it for almost a year. So everyone thought I died.
Oh
There
my
was a lot of
god.
yeah, they were like, "Where are you?" They're like, "What has happened?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And I finally got like a code to get back into it like last month. So I so now I'm back
Yay.
on my like original account and everything, and all is right in the world. But I was like, oh, I was really dumb to just have one social media account and one way for people to like book me. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no. I was like, this is awful. It's okay though. I'm making up for it. But yeah, so just Instagram and Twitter, the Dolly, make a mess of yourself.
And we will put the links down below.
Woo!
But other than that, it's as always, it's just been a pleasure. Liam, so great to see your face. I'm still looking at your shirt now that it's been called out. I can't even look at your face. I'm just looking at your shirt.
Oh, I'll look at his face.
It's like that, like, you know, no matter where you go, the eyes
Just a
follow you.
chubby little ginger cherub.
I love it.
That's my nipples. Stop it.
With that,
Christ.
till next time, everyone. Oh, and I mean, because it would be Shudder, not that we get anything from them, but it would be terrible if we just didn't promote that, you know. Well, let me cover this one movie because that was a terrible movie. VHS 85's coming out. Not this. Ooh, we're not going to talk about this film ever.
Is it Rainfield?
It's Children of the Corn, the remake.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, and Dracula comes out on Halloween. So if you're not watching it on Halloween, because most of us will be celebrating, watch it the next day as you're.
We'll be celebrating by watching
Hungover.
season 5 of the Boulet Brothers Dracula.
I may even stream that. I don't know yet, guys, but we'll think about it. So
yeah.
till next time, guys.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what are some of your favorite fantasy horror films. This is George's gig. I'm always terrible with this. We have a Patreon where you can get more content from us, where we get a little filthier since YouTube's YouTube. And some bonus stuff. And then we do have a YouTube membership where I do some weekly watch-alongs, and such upcoming things will be VHS 85 and
Ooh.
I didn't
the
know
new
you did that.
Chucky
I love
season.
that.
That's going to be fun to watch.
It really
But
is.
as always, tell you all, it won't be my first time watch, but it'll be my first time seeing it with finished effects. So, but it's also cool. So, bye. There. Did I say everything?
Bye.
Yep. Yeah, I did. Yep.